Alright, welcome guys. So we're going to have a look at the new update from Superior. We've got new powers and some new content or a new map. So we'll have a look at those and we'll have a look at what the changes mean for some of these powers. So we'll go over what maybe the new strongest powers are and how to use those. Alright, let's start with the new power. So you will have to unlock this new power. I think it's called Chilling Hands or Chill Hands. So I've just unlocked it there, or Ice Hands. So let's have a look at what that does. So you can see here it's similar to the Shock Hand. So it's just like a constant channel of essentially frost. So it's doing similar to what your dash would do when you leave that frost on the ground. It's somewhat underwhelming. I think the avalanche ice power is a lot better, where it throws out ice spikes. So this one's utilizing more the chill, whereas the other one's kind of more ice spikes. But who knows? There might be ways you could utilize this that we haven't quite figured out yet. For a long time there, we didn't think shock hands was any good, so maybe there'll be some applications. So the next big change is shock has been nerfed. Shock's damage has been reduced, so it now damages less frequent, and it's not stunning as much anymore as well, so you can't perma stun the enemies. And there was a small bug change where enemies now target you all the time, so you're no longer invisible some of the time. Now, shock is definitely not viable just on its own, but I think if you get the accessory powers where you're using lightning, so you'll fire out bolts of lightning every so often, and then you get smite. So if you get a kill while shocking them, it'll lightning nearby enemies. So you're basically relying on killing them with the lightning through generator, and then getting like a cascading effect of that smite. But I can see it still being viable if you're just going after the overdrive, so the Volt overdrive. So you can see here it's still very good. It's just as good as it's always been, especially on Murmur when you get those overdrives quicker. I think the Volt abilities are no longer like clearly the best abilities, but we might still find people using it just for that Volt overdrive. But I'm interested to see how that plays over the following weeks in the challenge run. Powers that I suspect might be the best is Frost. So if we take a look here, if you go Frost Dash or Ice Dash and you manage to get Hypothermia, which you can see there, which is the chilled enemies take damage per second, you want to get that on the second map, or ideally as early as possible. And then you're just stacking as many of those ice abilities as you can. You can see here I've got that damage over time, and then when enemies are killed in Frost, they shoot out ice spikes. So you can see there, it's just as soon as one dies, it's shooting out ice spikes. I've got the ice spikes doing extra damage, creating larger ice spikes and more ice spikes. So it just cascades and you end up just clearing out everyone. And then when you do get that ice overdrive, you're just going so fast. So in challenge run, it could actually be better than Bolt overdrive. So like I said, the new ice super weapon where you're shooting out frost from your hands is pretty underwhelming, but I definitely think ice and frost will be up there with probably the best ability, especially for challenge mode. Now if we look at fire, I think in some cases it might actually be the best power. You can see here it does clear out the enemies pretty well. It's just you have the problem of not being able to direct your move while you're dashing. You know, if we compare that to Frost and Shock, where you're able to control your character while dashing. But I think the damage of fire kind of overcome that drawback of fire dash. And then if you see me using heat vision here, heat vision is almost certainly the highest DPS weapon in the game. It works really well against pustules, so growth. You can channel it with headshots on any of the bosses, and then when you pop your overdrive, you've got unlimited ammo. And there's a ton of accessory powers for fire as well. You can get fire spreading. Fire does extra fire to nearby enemies when they die, and you can get it so it automatically kills enemies when they drop below 20% HP. So if I had to rank those powers, I'd say Ice is probably the best, then still Shock, if you're able to get overdrive, and then I'd say Fire, but Fire could actually be anywhere, but I think it's really close between the three. Alright, let's just have a quick look at the new map. I won't show the whole map, but I'll show you kind of what some of the visuals look like. So you can see it's off-world, so I'm pretty sure the lore is that we've left Earth, and the villains have actually, or the superhero villains have actually followed us off-world. You can see there it looks super cool, but I won't show you the whole map. It's nothing too exciting, but it is pretty cool to check out yourself. A couple other changes, so snacks are now more obvious when you get them. So when you actually have to manually pick them up, and you'll see what you get, and then you'll see at the end screen what snacks you pick up. There's a couple new weapons, so we've got Buzzkill, which you can see here, and then we've got Thud, which is a shotgun, and then there's a precision weapon that I think replaced the superior DMG. Alright, so we should be able to earn Gala tokens soon, I would say, hopefully Q2, and we've got a ton of new content planned. They've said there's new bosses, and new powers, as well as 2 new characters. So if you wanted to be kept updated on all that, and if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.